Will Jessa Duggar have more kids? Here's what she said. How many children the Duggar siblings will have is a hot topic. There are some who viewers think will welcome several children, perhaps even rivaling their parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. However, Jessa Duggar doesn't appear to be one of the siblings who will have more than a bunch of kids. During a recent Instagram Q&A session, the Counting On star addressed how many children she and Austin Forsyth will likely welcome. The couple has goals they want to accomplish, and while they have experienced some tough times, they aren't done having kids yet. Here's what we know about Jessa Duggar and how many children she wants. How many children does Jessa Duggar want? One of the questions during her Instagram Q&A session, Jessa Duggar received a question about how many children she wanted. It asked whether she was considering 19 children. The short answer was no. Jessa revealed that she and Austin Forsyth want to be able to raise them intentionally and direct them to a life filled with Jesus. The Counting On star revealed that there would likely be 4 or 5 children. They have 3 little ones, Gideon, Evelyn, and Gunnar. The couple will likely have 5 total, but it depends on how the pregnancy goes for Jessa. She experienced a pregnancy loss with her first daughter, Annabelle. The couple mourned the loss before welcoming Evelyn. Which Duggar siblings will have the most children? Josh and Anna Duggar currently have the most children, with 7. They are done welcoming children, as Josh is currently in federal prison. Jessa Duggar and Ben Seawald will welcome their 6th child later this summer. They have the biggest lead and could easily surpass Josh and Anna. Kendra Caldwell and Joseph Duggar were once believed to be the ones who would follow in Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's footsteps, but Jessa Duggar and Lauren Swanson also have 4 children. Jedidiah Duggar and Caitlin Nakatsu have the fastest growing family, with 4 children under 3. The couple welcomed their first baby in May 2022 and their second child in 2023, and their twin girls were born in January. Jed's twin, Jeremiah Duggar, and his wife, Hannah Wisman, are expecting their 3rd child in the coming weeks, and their daughters are close in age. A few have yet to start families of their own. Justin Duggar and Claire Spivey have been married for a few years and are still without children. Jessa Duggar married Stephen Wisman in August, and they have not announced a pregnancy. Jason Duggar married Maddie Grace Jones in October and haven't discussed having children publicly. One thing is for sure, Jessa Duggar and Austin Forsyth will not have the most children. Jessa Duggar wearing pants didn't come about without thought. The Counting On star revealed how changing her wardrobe came about, and it wasn't because she is a rebel. However, Jessa has seemingly taken several pages from her big sister, Jinger Duggar's, style book. Duggar women wearing pants used to be a big deal. It started after Jinger married Jeremy Vuolo and wore pants and shorts while living in Laredo, Texas. All the adult sisters have worn pants a time or two, but a few still rotate their long skirts and dresses. During a recent Instagram Q&A, Jessa talked about the journey she took before committing to wearing pants. Jessa Duggar details her road to wearing pants. Putting on pants and leaving the house isn't a big deal for many women. They grow up wearing jeans, leggings, and pants. However, the Duggar daughters grew up with a strict dress code that deemed pants immodest. Jessa Duggar has started wearing pants. During a recent Q&A session on her Instagram story, the Counting On star talked about her journey and the decision she and Austin Forsyth made about wearing pants. She called it a long and thoughtful decision. Jessa acknowledged that it might sound crazy to some, but she and Austin put a lot of prayer into their decision, and it took a couple of years. The couple grew up similarly, which made them believe that wearing pants was immodest. Interestingly, Jessa mentioned that her decision was not out of rebellion, and that she didn't have any bitterness about how she was raised. It was also stressed that wearing skirts or dresses never stopped her from doing what she wanted to do. Growing up under the thumb of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar created a very sheltered environment for the Duggar siblings. There were different rules for the boys and the girls, with the latter taking on more responsibility in the home and caring for their younger siblings. Joy-Anna Duggar mentioned believing pants were immodest. The girls wore below-knee dresses and skirts. They could wear long or short-sleeved tops, but nothing with a low neckline. When out in public, when the family would spot an immodestly dressed woman in their vicinity, they would use the code word Nike, so the boys knew to avert their eyes. Moving through adult life has given Joy-Anna a broader outlook on life, but she likely won't be as worldly as Jinger Duggar. The Duggars have captivated audiences with their unique lifestyle, strong Christian values, and commitment to raising children in a loving environment. As one of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's older daughters, Jessa has often found herself at the forefront of public interest. Whether it's through her marriage to husband Ben Seawald, her growing brood of children, or her entrepreneurial ventures, she continues to inspire many who admire her balance of tradition and modernity. In her recent post, Jessa began by expressing gratitude for the unwavering support of her followers. She acknowledged how meaningful it is to share milestones with people who feel like extended family. Her words radiated warmth and authenticity, setting the tone for what turned out to be an uplifting message filled with positivity. The first part of her update focused on her role as a mother. Jessa and Ben are parents to 5 children: Spurgeon, Gideon, Ivy, Samuel, and Fern, and they couldn't be prouder of their growing family. Jessa shared adorable photos of her kids enjoying various activities around their home. From Spurgeon practicing his reading skills to little Fern toddling around the backyard, each snapshot captured the joy and chaos of parenting. She went on to talk about the challenges and blessings of raising young ones while juggling other responsibilities. "There are days when I feel completely overwhelmed," Jessa admitted, "but then I remind myself that every season of life comes with its own set of trials and triumphs. It's all about trusting God and leaning on Him during those tough moments." This sentiment resonated deeply with her audience, many of whom could relate to the ups and downs of parenthood. Beyond her role as a mom, Jessa also touched on her professional endeavors. Over the past few years, she has built a successful career as a businesswoman. Alongside her sisters Jill and Jinger, Jessa launched a line of modest clothing called Blessed Boutique. The brand aims to provide stylish yet conservative options for women seeking attire aligned with their values. Jessa revealed that Blessed Boutique is expanding its collection soon, teasing new designs inspired by timeless elegance and practicality. Fans were thrilled to hear about the upcoming launch, eagerly anticipating more details. Another highlight of Jessa's update was her confirmation of the return of Duggar Family Night. For those unfamiliar, Duggar Family Night is a cherished tradition where the entire clan gathers together for fellowship, games, and quality time. These gatherings serve as a reminder of the importance of staying connected despite busy schedules and individual pursuits. Jessa explained that family night had taken a brief hiatus due to everyone's hectic lives, but now they're making it a priority again. "We realized how much we missed these moments together," she wrote. "It's such a blessing to sit down, laugh, and simply enjoy being a family. No phones, no distractions, just pure connection." She described some of the fun activities planned for their next get-together, including board games, karaoke, and a potluck dinner featuring everyone's favorite dishes. One particularly amusing anecdote involved Uncle Josh attempting to teach the younger cousins how to play chess, a task that reportedly ended in fits of laughter after several misplaced pieces and strategic blunders. What makes Duggar Family Night even more special is its inclusivity. While the core participants are immediate family members, close friends and extended relatives are often invited to join in the festivities. Jessa emphasized the value of creating a welcoming atmosphere where everyone feels loved and accepted. "Our family isn't defined by blood alone," she said. "It's about the bonds we form and nurture over time." Her announcement sparked excitement among fans, many of whom fondly remember watching similar scenes unfold on *19 Kids and Counting*. The show may have ended, but the Duggars' commitment to fostering unity remains stronger than ever. Social media comments flooded in with messages of encouragement and admiration for the way they prioritize relationships. As Jessa wrapped up her post, she reflected on the significance of sharing updates like this with her followers. "Life is unpredictable, and sometimes it's hard to find beauty amidst the chaos," she mused. "But I believe there's always something worth celebrating, whether it's a small victory or a big milestone. By opening up about our experiences, I hope to encourage others to embrace their own journeys with grace and faith." Her heartfelt conclusion left readers feeling inspired and grateful for the glimpse into her world. Jessa's transparency serves as a testament to her genuine desire to connect with people beyond the screen. It's clear that she views her platform not just as a means of self-expression, but as an opportunity to uplift and motivate others. Looking ahead, Jessa hinted at more exciting projects and events in the pipeline. While she didn't disclose specifics, her enthusiasm suggested that fans have plenty to look forward to. Whether it's another blessed boutique release, a family vacation, or perhaps even a collaboration with her siblings, Jessa's future seems brimming with possibilities. In closing, Jessa Duggar's recent life update offered a perfect blend of personal reflection, family traditions, and hopeful anticipation. By confirming the revival of Duggar Family Night, she reminded us all of the power of togetherness and the importance of cherishing the people who matter most. Through her words and actions, Jessa continues to embody resilience, kindness, and unwavering faith, a true role model for anyone navigating the complexities of life. For Joy-Anna Forsyth, the notion of wearing pants had been simmering in her mind for nearly 2 years before she finally made the decision to embrace this fundamental shift in her personal dress code. As a member of the Duggar family, known for their strict adherence to conservative Christian values and distinctive modesty standards, the concept of women wearing pants represented more than just a change in clothing. It symbolized a potential departure from deeply ingrained family traditions and societal expectations. Growing up in a household where dresses and skirts were not merely preferred, but mandated as expressions of biblical modesty, Joy-Anna's internal struggle with this decision carried significant weight. Her contemplation began subtly enough, perhaps during moments when she observed other women moving freely in pants while running errands or engaging in physical activities. These observations planted seeds of curiosity that grew stronger with each passing month. The practical considerations of wearing pants, greater comfort during outdoor chores, enhanced mobility while playing with her children, and the ability to participate more fully in various activities, began to outweigh the traditional arguments against them. Yet, these practical benefits were only part of a much larger equation that included spiritual, social, and familial implications. The 2-year period of deliberation wasn't marked by dramatic revelations or sudden epiphanies, but rather by a gradual accumulation of thoughts, questions, and self-reflection. During this time, Joy-Anna found herself caught between the security of familiar traditions and the allure of personal freedom. Each time she considered making the change, she would mentally weigh the potential consequences, how it might affect her relationship with her parents, what her siblings would think, and whether she would be judged by others within their tight-knit community. These concerns weren't abstract fears, but tangible possibilities that played out in her mind repeatedly, creating a mental tug-of-war that persisted throughout those 2 years. What made this decision particularly challenging was its symbolic nature. In the context of her upbringing, wearing pants wasn't simply about choosing different clothing. It represented a broader question about personal autonomy and spiritual interpretation. The Duggar family's dress code had always been presented as a non-negotiable aspect of their faith, intertwined with their understanding of biblical teachings on modesty and gender roles. By even considering the possibility of wearing pants, Joanna was questioning not just a clothing choice, but an entire framework of beliefs that had shaped her identity since childhood. This realization added layers of complexity to her internal debate, transforming what might have been a simple wardrobe decision into a profound examination of her values and convictions. Growing up in the Duggar household, Joanna's understanding of modesty was inextricably linked to the family's interpretation of biblical teachings, particularly 1 Timothy 2-9, which emphasizes modest apparel and proper clothing. Her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, had long maintained that skirts and dresses were the only appropriate garments for women, viewing them as essential expressions of femininity and godly submission. This belief system was reinforced daily through family devotions, church teachings, and the constant modeling of behavior by older female relatives. From her earliest memories, Joanna watched her mother and sisters move gracefully in flowing skirts, their hemlines carefully measured to ensure they fell below the knee, even when seated. The family's stance on modesty extended far beyond mere fabric choices, encompassing a comprehensive worldview about gender roles and spiritual purity. Pants, according to this perspective, represented worldly compromise and a rejection of God's design for women. The Duggars taught that dresses and skirts symbolized a woman's commitment to maintaining distinct gender distinctions, while pants blurred these lines and opened the door to immodesty. Every Sunday sermon, every homeschool lesson, and every family discussion reinforced these principles, creating an environment where alternative viewpoints seemed not just different, but spiritually dangerous. Joanna's formative years were filled with practical applications of these teachings. She learned to sit carefully in chairs to avoid exposing her legs, developed techniques for climbing stairs without hiking up her skirt, and mastered the art of selecting appropriately modest fabrics that wouldn't cling or reveal too much movement. These skills became second nature, as natural as breathing, and formed the foundation of her understanding of what it meant to be a godly woman. The family's commitment to these standards was absolute, leaving little room for questioning or deviation. Even as she grew older and began to encounter different perspectives, these early lessons remained deeply embedded in her consciousness, influencing every thought she had about clothing and modesty. The pressure to conform was relentless yet subtle, woven into the fabric of daily life through countless small interactions and expectations. When shopping trips resulted in new dresses, there was always careful consideration of length and style, with multiple family members offering input on whether a particular garment met their standards. Social events were planned with modesty in mind, from carefully chosen seating arrangements to strategically placed fans that prevented accidental exposure. These practices, though often presented as loving guidance, created an invisible but powerful framework that shaped Joanna's understanding of acceptable behavior and appearance. The cumulative effect of these experiences created a mental barrier that made even considering pants feel like a betrayal of everything she had been taught about living a righteous life. The first crack in Joanna's rigid understanding of modesty appeared during a routine trip to the local grocery store. As she maneuvered her cart down the produce aisle, struggling to maintain her balance while reaching for apples in a full-skirted dress, she noticed a young mother in yoga pants effortlessly tossing fruit into her basket while simultaneously managing her toddler. The contrast struck her profoundly, not just in terms of efficiency, but in the visible confidence and ease with which the woman moved through her tasks. This moment, seemingly insignificant to others, planted a seed of doubt about the practicality of her family's strict dress code. Similar experiences accumulated over months, each one adding weight to her growing unease. During a church-sponsored community cleanup, she watched enviously as women in jeans climbed ladders and carried heavy materials with apparent ease. When her own attempts to participate were hampered by her skirt catching on branches or restricting her movements, she felt a pang of frustration that lingered long after the event ended. These instances weren't isolated occurrences, but part of a pattern that gradually chipped away at her acceptance of the status quo. Each time she found herself limited by her clothing choice, whether while gardening, exercising, or simply playing actively with her children, the question of why she continued to adhere to such restrictive standards became harder to ignore. The watershed moment came during a family camping trip when she attempted to help set up tents in her usual attire. As she struggled to maintain dignity while crouching and stretching, she noticed her brother-in-law's casual comment about how much easier such tasks were in pants. His offhand remark triggered a cascade of memories. All the times she'd felt constrained, all the opportunities she'd hesitated to pursue because of her clothing. That night, sitting alone by the campfire, Joy-Anna allowed herself to truly consider the possibility that her family's interpretation of modesty might be unnecessarily restrictive. For the first time, she entertained the idea that perhaps God cared less about specific garment types and more about the heart behind her choices. These realizations didn't come easily or quickly. Each breakthrough was followed by periods of intense self-doubt and guilt. She would catch herself eyeing pants in stores, then immediately chastise herself for even considering such a departure from her upbringing. Yet the practical advantages she observed in others' lives continued to challenge her preconceived notions. The women she admired most, the ones who balanced family responsibilities with community involvement, who pursued fitness and outdoor activities with enthusiasm, many of them wore pants regularly. Their examples suggested that modesty and pants weren't mutually exclusive concepts, a revelation that forced Joy-Anna to re-examine everything she thought she knew about biblical modesty. As Joy-Anna's internal conflict deepened, the influence of her immediate family became both a source of support and a significant obstacle in her journey toward personal growth. Her husband, Austin Forsyth, emerged as her strongest ally, though his support required delicate navigation. Having grown up outside the Duggar sphere, Austin possessed a more flexible understanding of modesty and personal freedom. He listened patiently during late-night conversations when Joy-Anna expressed her frustrations about feeling physically restricted, and he gently encouraged her to trust her own judgment about what constituted appropriate clothing. However, their discussions often ended with cautious reminders about maintaining peace with her parents and extended family, highlighting the complex dynamics at play. The couple's approach to handling this sensitive topic evolved over time, becoming a careful dance of gradual exposure and strategic timing. They began by introducing small changes in private settings, perhaps allowing Joy-Anna to wear athletic leggings during home workouts or opting for more practical clothing during family vacations away from prying eyes. Each step forward was accompanied by thorough discussions about how to present these choices if questioned by family members. Austin's role expanded beyond mere support. He became an active participant in helping Joy-Anna articulate her reasons for wanting to wear pants, encouraging her to frame her decisions in terms of practical necessity and personal conviction rather than rebellion against family norms. This strategy of gradual acclimation extended to their interactions with other family members as well. When visiting Joy-Anna's parents, they maintained outward appearances of adherence to traditional dress codes, saving discussions about clothing choices for private moments. During family gatherings, Austin skillfully redirected conversations away from potentially controversial topics, while subtly normalizing the idea of women wearing pants through casual references to friends and acquaintances who did so without compromising their faith. These calculated approaches helped create a buffer zone where Joy-Anna could continue exploring her thoughts without facing immediate confrontation. The extended Forsyth Duggar family network presented additional layers of complexity. Joy Anna's sisters and sister-in-laws, many of whom still adhered strictly to skirt-only guidelines, occasionally made pointed comments or asked probing questions about her changing preferences. Rather than engaging in direct confrontation, Joy Anna and Austin developed a system of gentle deflection and redirection. When pressed about her clothing choices, Joy Anna would emphasize practical considerations or health reasons, framing her decisions as necessary adaptations rather than deliberate departures from family tradition. This careful wording helped maintain surface-level harmony while allowing her to continue exploring her evolving views. Perhaps the most challenging aspect of navigating family dynamics was managing the expectations of Joy Anna's parents. Regular phone calls and visits required careful planning to avoid triggering uncomfortable discussions. The couple established unspoken signals, a particular phrase or gesture, that alerted each other when a conversation was veering toward dangerous territory. These precautions weren't about deception, but rather about protecting Joy Anna's mental space as she worked through her internal conflict. Despite these challenges, the family's deep love for one another served as a foundation that, while tested, ultimately held firm throughout this period of transition. Throughout her 2-year journey, Joy Anna grappled with profound theological questions that challenged the very foundations of her faith education. The core of her struggle centered around reconciling her growing conviction about wearing pants with the biblical principles she had been taught since childhood. She spent countless hours poring over scripture, searching for definitive answers about modesty and clothing choices. Her study led her to recognize that many of the verses traditionally used to justify skirt-only requirements were, upon closer examination, more about heart attitudes and spiritual discernment than specific garment types. This realization forced her to confront the possibility that her family's interpretation might be more cultural than scriptural. The tension between spiritual conviction and cultural tradition became increasingly apparent as Joy Anna delved deeper into theological study. She discovered that early Christians in biblical times wore tunics and robes that bore little resemblance to modern dresses or skirts, raising questions about the historical accuracy of equating contemporary Western clothing styles with biblical modesty. This knowledge created cognitive dissonance, as she realized that what she had been taught as absolute truth might actually be a modern interpretation influenced more by cultural context than divine mandate. Her prayer journal from this period reveals pages filled with earnest petitions for wisdom, alongside detailed notes from Bible studies and theological commentaries. The emotional toll of this spiritual wrestling match manifested in sleepless nights and tearful devotions. Joy Anna found herself oscillating between moments of clarity, where she felt confident in her emerging understanding of modesty, and periods of intense doubt when she questioned whether she was rationalizing sin. The fear of being labeled rebellious or worldly weighed heavily on her conscience, creating a constant undercurrent of anxiety. Yet, paradoxically, these struggles deepened her faith as she learned to distinguish between genuine spiritual conviction and cultural conditioning. Through this process, she developed a more nuanced understanding of biblical principles, recognizing that true modesty stems from the heart rather than external appearances. This theological awakening wasn't a linear progression, but rather a series of incremental insights that gradually reshaped her worldview. She began to see that her family's emphasis on specific clothing choices had, perhaps unintentionally, overshadowed more fundamental aspects of Christian living, like love, grace, and personal responsibility. The realization that her relationship with God wasn't dependent on her hemline length, but rather on her heart attitude, brought both relief and renewed commitment to authentic faith expression. This understanding didn't diminish her respect for biblical teachings on modesty, but rather freed her to interpret them through a lens of personal conviction and spiritual maturity. The decision to wear pants for the first time didn't arrive with fanfare or dramatic declarations, but rather emerged organically from a confluence of factors that had been building for months. It was a crisp autumn morning when Joanna finally stood before her closet, her fingers tracing the fabric of a pair of dark wash jeans she had purchased weeks earlier but never worn. The previous evening's conversation with Austin had crystallized something within her, a recognition that waiting for the perfect moment would only prolong her internal struggle. As she slipped into the pants, paired with a modest blouse, she experienced a complex mixture of emotions: exhilaration at the newfound freedom of movement, apprehension about potential judgment, and a surprising sense of rightness that resonated deeply within her spirit. The initial days of wearing pants revealed practical benefits that exceeded her expectations. Simple tasks like grocery shopping and running errands became noticeably easier, and she discovered unexpected joy in activities she had previously avoided. Climbing playground equipment with her children no longer required strategic positioning or constant readjustments, and outdoor chores transformed from cumbersome obligations into enjoyable pursuits. These concrete improvements in daily life validated her decision while simultaneously challenging her previous assumptions about the inherent immodesty of pants. Each successful experience wearing them reinforced her conviction that practicality and modesty weren't mutually exclusive concepts.